So the secret invasion is over.
Or has it just begun?
You're the most wanted and hated man on the planet. Consider this a preview, Nick. I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
Oh, we just watched the season finale the other day of Secret Invasions. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. It was a good show. Out of all of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, I liked it more than average, but I still wasn't that happy with it. What do you think?
I would put it in the top 5. I don't think there's that many of them yet. Loki still, I think, it's really hard for them to top Loki. And then I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I think this would probably be third. It'd be. I like the fact that there wasn't. I mean, there was, spoiler alert, no spoiler alert, wasn't a super fight at the end, right? Like a huge spectacle. And I feel like that's a great direction for them to go with a lot of these shows. They don't need to have a movie quality fight scene for these shows. I'm fine with them keeping it simple. I like this espionage, spy versus spy stuff.
This show, for those of you that don't know, it's kind of about Fury after the events of Endgame, where he's blipped and then he comes back and then he leaves the world. He kind of leaves some stuff behind, and that's the kind of crux of this show. It ties into Captain Marvel, so you have the Skrulls, and it's a spy show, and it's good. There's some twists and turns, but it was a good show.
My only complaints, non-spoilery things, would be what last week, or the last video I did with you, I talked about how DC is did super good at lighting. Everything was bright. You could see what was going on. This one, there is a lot of shots in the dark, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of cloak and dagger. You know, they're meeting at night, but there's like a couple fight scenes where like it's at night. I'm like, come on, you guys. But that was only in like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, it was dark. What did you think of the villains? I didn't care too much about them until probably episode 5 or 6. The first 4 episodes, I was watching it, and I was more or less bored the whole time. I'm like, the characters are interesting. I get it. These Skrulls are faithful to Fury, and the other Skrulls have a problem with Fury, but I wasn't really invested till the very end. Did you have the same feeling?
Yeah, I did like the villain. I thought he was a little boring. You know, his whole thing is this, and their whole fight, and so I thought that throughout the show it was fine. I think they set up the ending very good. I liked where they ended up and how they ended it with, hard to say without spoiling anything, what they teed up for the future for that show, and maybe for the movies too.
Yeah, and
so
that's the one thing I'll say about this show is it felt like it had, I mean, we'll have to actually wait and see if this comes to fruition, but right now it feels like this is going to impact the movies a lot. Where so far the other shows, we've watched them and it's been like, I could have just skipped this whole show and I don't think I would be missing that much. Where this, it's like there's a main, like the ending is very important and it could change a lot going forward.
So here's the thing though. The ending for this series doesn't really change, but puts a new perspective on past Marvel movies because of what we find out at the very end. I feel like there's not enough stuff we can talk about without spoiling, so I think we should just go right into the spoiler territory.
We're going to go into spoilers. Everybody, this is your chance to tune away. I'm going to say it's a good show. It's definitely worth a watch. It's a little slow in the beginning, but for a 6-episode series where most of the episodes are like 35 to 45 minutes long, it's not a lot of a time investment, so check it out. It was good. All right, so this is spoiler time. All right, so what did you want to say, Alex?
Okay, so about halfway through the series, we find out that Colonel Rhodes is a Skrull, which I kind of suspected early in, but I turned out, because I Googled online and stuff, turns out people theorized this for a while now. Ever since like they had that one movie where in Spider-Man where Nick Fury was actually a Skrull in the Spider-Man movie. I guess people back then were like, Rhodes is a Skrull. And I didn't even know. I guess I'm just not on the forums enough. And I was like, I didn't know that was a theory. I think, though, when he got hurt in Civil War, that's when he was replaced. Because when he was picked up, he was in his nightgown. So you have two MCU characters, like two, not main, but major MCU characters that were Skrulls. And I'm just like, that kind of changes the Black Panther movie a little bit.
Do you think he was a Skrull in the Black Panther movie, or do you think he was a human in the Black Panther movie?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't know. So we don't know. And like the reason why I say it changes stuff is because we don't know if they had access to Wakanda technology now, because that guy was in the country, and these guys are master level spies. At the end of Captain Marvel, Nick Fury takes in these Skrulls. Turns out the Skrull sent out a signal, collected the Skrull without Nick Fury's knowing, sent out a signal saying, "Hey, we found a place to be refugees." So now there's at least a million Skrulls on Earth now. So here's one problem with the movie, and they do have a point. Humans, we can't get along with each other. We have imaginary borders all around us and stuff that aren't physical. They're not real, right? But they're like, this is our area. If you come into our area, we will mess you up.
Right.
And so Nick Fury had a point where he's like, can't let you guys really live here because we don't get along with each other. So you add in a completely different species, and we're going to lose our mind. And the point was kind of proven at the end. But the fact, though, that they said it when they had the council meeting, he's like, we didn't lose our planet because we were scared to go to war. We lost our planet because we were too willing to go to war. And I'm like, yes, what are you doing? Like the whole thing is like they want a place to live. They have a place to live.
Right.
No one's messing with them in that Russian power plant. Yeah, it's not great, but I don't know what they're expecting, especially when like, oh, we've been here for 30 years. Yeah, it's going to take them a while to find an uninhabited planet.
Now, after watching this show, it kind of makes me want to go back and watch the first Captain Marvel movie, and I'm sure they kind of planned on this, but it almost adds shades of gray to that, where it's like, in that movie, the Skrulls were clearly the good guys, and that was a plot twist in that movie. But then now you find out, like, maybe they were running, but it was because they were too quick to cause war. So they were originally the bad guys?
Yeah, and I want to know more about, like, the Kree Empire and stuff, too, and, like, because I believe Ronan was Kree.
Ooh,
but, like,
that's a deep
like,
cut. I don't know.
I can't. I know. I wish I was studying for this video. This is just off the top of my head. But, like, so, but in the comics, though, I think they're at war with the Kree Empire. And, like, so, like, the Skrulls and the Kree are kind of fighting at each other. And, the last time I saw, like, the Skrulls was in a Fantastic Four animated series. And the Skrulls invaded, and then the Kree came, and, like, the Krees are like, yeah, these guys are like an infestation. You have to get rid of them. We can help you. And then so like so they help out to get rid of the Skrulls. Then you find out like the Kree aren't that great either. Like there's like they'll come in, claim a territory, and be like, all right, you're part of our empire now, whether you like it or not. So like both sides are shit. You know?
Right. Yeah. There's not really a good option. I mean, on one hand, you have the faceless aliens that can like just hide in with you and slowly just take over from within. That's not really a good choice either. So either way, it's bad. What did you think about Fury and his wife? Did that feel forced to you, or was it weird that he was making out with an alien at the end of the movie? Like, to me, I get what they're saying, but it's weird. I don't know. He was kissing a green alien, locking lips with a shark-toothed green alien.
I didn't think it was too forced, and I'm not too surprised because Nick Fury had like a soft spot for them, like in the Captain Marvel movies and stuff. I really don't. I mean, like for me, that was like not even the biggest part of the show. Mine for me was it was interesting. So in the comic books, the Super Skrull generally like it had he collects. They get the powers of superheroes or whatever, but there's one that's like who gets the powers of the Fantastic Four. So one arm is rock, one arm is fire, and he's able to like stretch and like
Okay.
make shields and stuff. And he's like super tough. And so I thought it was kind of interesting. They give him first powers they give him was extreme, so it's kind of fire. And then Groot is kind of like it's wood, but it's
Right.
like the rock / stretching powers and stuff. And then he gets like the full combination, of all of them. That final fight scene, I could have done without, but it was fine. I thought it was short. It was nice. It was nice that it was a huge, big thing because like I think they need like Marvel needs to realize like they don't need to have a movie finale for a TV series. You can end on a cliffhanger. That's okay. You can build up stuff and like they did the same thing, almost did the same thing with She-Hulk, but then they like undercut it with that whole.
I liked what
And
they did in She-Hulk. I'm like, that's very clever. That was funny.
Yeah. I just want like a Nick Fury show. Secret Invasion was perfect. Perfect, just like how they set it up and stuff. I think they've stayed within their scope and stuff. But like, if you're doing like a Nick Fury TV show, have it just about spy cloak and dagger. I don't want to, I don't want this like big super battle. I'd rather not. Same with like She-Hulk. I want that to be about superhero law.
Yeah. I almost
Kinda
wish that these Disney Plus shows were more slice of life kind of shows, kind of like how She-Hulk was, where it's like this is a superhero doing real life things with a little bit of superhero flair to it. That would be fun. Where you have this show and it's like they got to build up the stakes. The harvest. They want to make these super Skrulls with the blood of every Avenger that was on the battle for Earth, and that's all fine and dandy. But then you get a short, quick little action thing, and it's like they felt like they needed it, but they didn't. They didn't spend too much time on it. And the powers, that was kind of weird to me because they have all the powers, sure, but she just instinctively knows, like, oh, she's got mantis powers and she can make the guy sleep. Like, how did she know she could do that?
Well, yeah, I know she probably had a little bit of inside knowledge on that and stuff. And I was trying to like pause it while I was watching to see the name because there's names like on there. I was like, I kind of remember that name. Like, was that in the show or is that I was like, was this something that we knew already, or were they trying to slip in names that we didn't know? Like Ebony Maw. I was like, oh, I don't think that's the same. But then I remembered, oh yeah, that's Squidward from Endgame. And I don't know. It was a good show. I didn't really like the villain too much. I thought his focus and drive was like a little off, and like it was like it.
I felt like he came into his own on episode 6. Like that scene where he was talking to Fake Fury in that Super Skrull chamber. I thought that was good. Where there was a first really scene where I'm like, I buy this guy. He's a good villain. I like this. It was like a heart to heart, and he was pissed off and emotional. I'm like, okay, so that's why you want to burn this all down. Where was that 5 episodes ago?
I agreed that he did show his best character at the end, and then he died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that death was so fast too.
And but I was just like, I don't know. It was basically just a kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so that's the one thing that's kind of pulling me down from this show is like the bad guys' reasoning for all this. Like, we're just gonna just nuke this planet. One, I thought you wanted to live here, but I guess they were hanging out in that reactor, and that wasn't a problem. So I guess that shows that nuclear waste isn't an issue for them.
Yeah.
But Oh, just like the fact that you did that and like
It's a
caused
little
all the
inconsistent where it's like you're going to nuke the entire world and kill everybody because Fury, the one guy, took too long to get you guys out of hiding, which I'm sure it's not ideal living conditions, but it just seems like you maybe could have done something else. Like, I don't. Why do you have to jump straight to nuking everybody and killing the whole planet? You can't just have a meeting like, "Hey guys, this is who we are. This is what we stand for." And then if they
Not
freak
even-
out, just change and hide again. So then this show kind of leads into the new Captain America movie, New World Order. That's the name of the new one, right? Captain America 4. So this is going to have the new Captain America. This is going to have, the Falcon as Captain America. They're sowing a lot of seeds right now for this new Captain America. We had Falcon and the Winter Soldier that kind of led into this new era with the power broker and what's going on in the background of the U.S. government. They had that whole side plot. Then they have the She-Hulk side plot where they got, they're trying to get her blood, and there's the whole ringleader. And then we have this show, which has even more stuff with like Captain America was very tied to S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government, and now we have the government in this waging war on the Skrulls, and you have S.H.I.E.L.D. is like not... Are they totally gone now? Now it's just focused more on Saber up in the sky?
I think Shield is still there because I think Marie Hill is still part of Shield, but then she died. So I don't know.
So apparently it's Captain America Brave New World. Comes out July 26, 2024, the day after my birthday next year. So we're like a year away from it. And I think Universal just lost the rights to Hulk too. I think that has now gone back to Marvel.
Well, guys, let us know what you think about all this. Did you watch Secret Invasion? I'm hoping you did, since it's the spoiler video. Let us know what you think. Anything else you want to add, Tyler?
No, that's it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. Until next time, we'll see you later. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/GrouchyGus94 to help support the channel.